Coco Gauff achieves a historic milestone, outshining Williams' sisters at China Open. The autumn skies of Beijing glowed crimson as the crowd inside the China Open arena erupted into thunderous applause. On the court stood a 21-year-old woman, her braided hair glistening under the stadium lights, her smile wide yet overwhelmed by emotion. Coco Gauff, the prodigy who once dreamed of following the footsteps of Venus and Serena Williams, had just carved her own legacy into the fabric of tennis history. This was not just a win. It was a milestone that even the Williams sisters, two of the greatest icons the sport has ever known, had not achieved at this event. By clinching the China Open title and surpassing records set by the sisters, Coco had ascended into rarefied air, standing as a symbol of a new generation ready to carry tennis into the future. And as the trophy glittered in her hands, the whispers became deafening. Was this the moment Coco Gauff outshone the Williams sisters? The Williams legacy. To understand the magnitude of Coco's achievement, one must first journey back to the dynasty she was always measured against, Serena and Venus Williams. For decades, the sisters dominated tennis like celestial bodies pulling the sport into their orbit. Serena's unmatched 23 Grand Slam singles titles, Venus's trailblazing journey as a champion for equal prize money, and their combined impact on and off the court turned them into legends. At the China Open, however, the sisters never quite reached the pinnacle. Serena won matches but never lifted the title. Venus, too, had remarkable runs but fell short of ultimate glory. The event, prestigious and grueling with its deep field of elite talent, remained unconquered territory. For years, that omission was minor compared to their larger legacies. But for Coco Gauff, the absence became an opportunity, a chance to do what her idols hadn't. The rise of Coco. Coco's journey from Delray Beach, Florida, to the grandest stages of tennis is a modern fairy tale, paved with sweat, resilience, and belief. At 15, she announced herself to the world with her unforgettable run at Wimbledon 2019, defeating Venus Williams in the opening round. Tears streamed down her face as she explained in interviews how she had idolized Venus since childhood, watching her matches on TV and dreaming of playing at her level. That victory wasn't just symbolic. It was prophetic. Coco wasn't destined to merely follow the Williams sisters. She was meant to extend their legacy and perhaps surpass it. By 2025, Coco had already tasted Grand Slam glory at the U.S. Open and added multiple WTA titles to her resume. But the China Open represented something unique, a chance to etch her name into history in a way that even Serena and Venus had not. The road to Beijing glory. The tournament draw was brutal. Critics predicted Coco might fall early, facing top-seeded rivals with devastating weapons. But match after match, she answered every challenge. In the opening rounds, she dismissed powerful baseline hitters with her explosive forehand and near-impenetrable defense. In the quarterfinals, she battled a former Slam champion, saving match points with nerves of steel and firing aces when it mattered most. The semifinal was a clash of generations, Coco against an experienced top 5 player who tried to unravel her with strategy. Coco's mental maturity shone as she absorbed pressure and turned the match around in 3 tight sets. By the time she reached the final, Beijing was buzzing with one question. Was this the moment destiny aligned? The final battle. Under the cool Chinese night sky, Coco walked onto the court for the biggest final of her career. Her opponent was fierce, a reigning Grand Slam winner, with a reputation for big match brilliance. The opening set was a war. Long rallies drew gas from the crowd, each point a micro-battle of speed, precision, and nerve. Coco's athleticism was jaw-dropping, sliding into shots, sprinting corner to corner, and unleashing passing shots that painted the lines. She took the set 7-5 with a booming forehand winner that sent her box leaping to their feet. But the second set belonged to her opponent, who stormed back with relentless aggression, taking it 6-3. The match was tied, tension unbearable. Then came the deciding set. For nearly an hour, they traded blows like heavyweight boxers. At 5-4, with Coco serving for the championship, the crowd held its breath. She went down 15-40, 2 break points, the title slipping away. And then the magic, an ace down the tee, a fearless backhand cross-court winner, another blistering forehand that clipped the sideline. Suddenly, it was championship point. Coco tossed the ball high, unleashed her serve, and watched as her opponent's return sailed long. Game. Set. Match. Gauff. She collapsed onto her back, tears streaming, the crowd roaring. She had done it. The moment of history. As Coco lifted the gleaming trophy, history books were rewritten. No Williams sister had ever won the China Open. Coco Gauff was now the first Black American woman to do so. She had surpassed a milestone her idols never captured, not in competition with them, but as an extension of their journey. The symbolism was overwhelming. The Williams sisters had broken the gates wide open, making tennis accessible to a new generation of Black athletes. Coco walked through those gates, and now she had carved her own path. The world reacts. The tennis world exploded with admiration. Serena Williams, watching from her home, tweeted, "Passing the torch looks so good on you, Coco. Keep shining. Proud of you always." Venus Williams posted a photo of Coco holding the trophy with a caption, "From the little girl who once said I inspired her, to the champion who inspires millions. History looks good on you." The sports media crowned her the new queen of tennis, headlines screaming across the globe. In the Philippines, Japan, the U.S., Europe. Fans stayed up late to watch. Social media flooded with hashtags. Hashtag Coco China Open. Hashtag Next Gen Queen and hashtag Beyond Williams. Coco's reflection. In her victory speech, Coco's voice cracked with emotion. "I wouldn't be here without Serena and Venus. They showed me what was possible when the world said it wasn't. Tonight, I don't feel like I outshined them. I feel like I honored them. This trophy belongs to all of us." Her humility only deepened her appeal. She wasn't trying to erase the Williams legacy. She was building upon it, brick by brick, with her own greatness. Beyond Beijing. The victory at the China Open was more than a trophy. It was a signal. Coco Gauff wasn't just a rising star anymore. She was a torchbearer of tennis's future. Sponsors flooded in. Young athletes looked to her as proof that dreams weren't limited by age, race, or background. Her victory inspired the next wave, just as Venus and Serena had inspired her. And as she boarded her flight out of Beijing, Coco carried not just a trophy in her bag, but the weight of a new identity. A global icon who had stepped out of the shadows of her idols to illuminate her own stage. Conclusion: the circle of greatness. Sports are often about cycles. Legends rise, inspire, and eventually pass the torch. The Williams sisters redefined tennis for 2 decades, leaving behind records, memories, and a legacy that will never fade. Coco Gauff didn't just achieve a milestone. She wrote the first lines of a legend that will echo long after the cheers fade. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.